We all knew it was coming. The way he just swooped out, I was like, yes! I knew it wouldn't disappoint. You caught up on your Thrones knowledge and everything?
Yes, I am.
Good, because I'm not. I need somebody to get my back on this.
I got
Did you read the books, Aaron?
I did not.
But you know the show.
Yeah, I've just watched the TV show.
I'm letting people know now, as I said last week, I love the show. I love everything about it. I think it's been getting better and better, even though people got mad at me last week, and I don't care for talking about how this has become more of a mainstream show.
They got mad at you?
Yeah, people got mad at me, told me I was too stupid, I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm too old to be watching this.
Jesus, man.
People are telling us, man, you're too old to watch Game of Thrones, even though the guy that wrote it was about 50 years old when he started. But hey, whatever, man. When I say it's more of a mainstream show, I don't think that it's hurting the show. I just said you can tell the difference, but it's damn entertaining right now.
Sure. I mean, by being more mainstream, things move along. And your favorite characters don't get killed quite so suddenly.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can sit back and actually
frequency. Like I notice how it's gotten to be where the show used to make me nervous all the time, and now I'm like, I'll start out nervous. I was like, oh wait, I can relax.
And you know something? That's the thing. You can relax a little more, not completely.
No, not completely. Because actually watching this episode, for the first half, I was still nervous. And I guess because they keep playing that music in the background. Or anytime somebody I like, a character I like is on screen by themselves or walking alone, I'm like, here that shit comes.
I know. Every time somebody's on, I mean, they got us this episode. Every time somebody's on screen, somebody in the background, I was like, oh, shut up, man. Let me enjoy myself.
And gathering all the heroes in one spot. Let's see. There was the Red Wedding. Right. There was Cersei blowing up the High Septon and everybody in there.
Yeah, when she didn't show up at first, I was like, oh no, she's going to blow up the dragon.
No, man, you can't have no parties in Westeros, man. You can't have no get together. Man, this is why we can't have nothing. But yeah, this was a brilliant episode for many, many reasons.
There is only one war that matters, and it is here.
Now, what you saw there were a bunch of images, and that was great because there was a lot here where just faces and actions spoke louder than anything, man. Let's just go through real quick, and we'll let the since we just saw this, we're going into this kind of not with the preparation we usually have. This episode, what made it so awesome was that we had suspense. We were left with a sense of danger that we all knew was looming in the background, but we finally got to see the power of.
Oh, you mean the sex between Dany and Jon Snow?
We knew that. We knew his dragon was coming up at some point. It was so satisfying, and we didn't know it was coming. We knew it was happening at some point, but we didn't see it happening at this point. And that was because it was just a couple of episodes ago that we had Sansa and Arya going at each other.
Right.
And Littlefinger in the background with his little fingers.
Doing his little bit to lure Arya around into his room to get his little secret. And I was like, man, I feel like she's smarter than this.
Yeah. And you know what? That's the thing that they played with this on right here. First, Littlefinger. We knew he was going to end up playing himself because these girls, I mean, put some Westeros coin up your ass because you played yourself. But he thought these girls, he's like, these dumb little bitches right here. He thought of them as still as girls. And one of the things that, what's that?
As little teenage girls.
As little teenage girls. Now, here's the thing. We never thought that he could play Arya. But Arya just didn't have, we thought that Arya was going to a dark place, and even they got me with that because I kept saying, I fear for this girl, that she's going to a very dark place. And she's smart, probably smarter than a lot of people that she's in the room with. But her emotions, her bloodlust is just taking a toll on her, making her judgment bad. But Sansa is the one that everybody thought, man, this bitch is stupid. She don't know what's
I
going
know
on.
there was that feeling like, oh, don't tell me she's still stupid. I thought she learned. I mean, back when everybody was like, well, Littlefinger helped us out. She's like, nah, I don't trust him.
Think out of not only, of course, he's always manipulating something to gain something, but I really do think that even as she said, in his warped, dark way, loved her. And he had loyalty to her.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But it was just a couple when he gave Bran that dagger. He was like, she was the one saying, don't trust this sneaky motherfucker. If he gave you that, there's a reason for it. I wouldn't keep it if I was you.
Yeah. And it was Sansa who we thought, she's come a long way and we trust her, but we didn't think that she learned. We really didn't think. We were like, man, she still don't know. She's still a little naive, Sansa.
She's getting to be the princess she always wanted to be.
As Arya was accusing her of. For all his scheming, and I maybe gave him credit for more than he deserved, but for all his scheming, for him taking as many risks as he did, I didn't expect him to be as big of a bitch when he went out.
He was a little bit more than I expected.
I mean, have some dignity, man. You knew the game when you got into it. You knew this was a risk. You knew this was going to happen. But that was the other thing that everybody knew he was done for because he got a little bit too ahead of himself. He got way too confident. But I didn't expect him to drop to his knees. Please.
Sometimes when I'm trying to understand a person's motives, I play a little game.
I'm fucked. That was that looking like I'm fucked.
I got to give it to the actor because his face said so much throughout this whole sequence.
Oh, it did, though. When he got caught in that whole thing, like, oh, who, me?
I am Lord Protector of the Vale, and I command you to escort me safely back to the Eyrie.
I think not.
Nah, brother, you on your own.
That's the moment right there.
That's just that look and giving everybody like, are you fucking serious? I love this. This is some cold shit right here. And it was so cold-blooded the way Arya just lined herself up ready. She's like, man, just call this shit. I'm ready to slice her throat right now. No, I don't even believe his tears, man. I believe that was just another manipulation
He just
point.
wants to live. And yeah, as far as him being a bitch and dropping to his knees, it's guys like that who have to pull the long cons.
Yeah, it was.
Because he knew he had no power other than manipulating other people.
We have our satisfying deaths every season, man, and that was the one.
Sure.
I'm glad to see that he's gone, but that actor I will miss because I really enjoyed his performance over the years, and I love the way you sometimes just want to give him a chance too. He fooled us sometimes,
yeah.
And I love that when I knew his fate was sealed when he hit, because every time somebody says, let me explain, it's always too late for that shit.
Yeah.
But let's get into the other big satisfying thing here, the you're fucked moment. And it was amazing. What was the dragon's name? Viserion?
The one that died?
The one that died. Because it's
that
named
was
after Daenerys' brother.
Yeah, Viserion.
Viserion, yeah. And I don't know how no one who was there to see the walkers and the Night King, how no one thought that he ain't gonna pull that dragon back up and do something with it, but we knew. And
well, it went underwater, and who knew they had chains? I mean nobody in the audience knew they had chains. That's one thing people talking about. Like, where the hell they get those chains from?
And they actually had an explanation. I didn't read it, but
they said it was like there was some broken down ship there somewhere.
Okay, all right, y'all pull that shit out your ass. Y'all pull them chains out your ass. Who know that they had an ice monster truck there to pull that shit out of the water? But a lot of people, and this is what I'm so happy about with this. A lot of people were saying that this is this ice dragon thing, man. It's gonna be okay. So you mean to tell me he's gonna come back and instead of blowing? Because I said this 2 weeks ago. I said, what if he comes back and he has ice breath? And people are like, that's stupid.
That's the first thing I figured on.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought would happen.
And things, like I said,
and I'm like, is that ice or is that blue fire?
I think it's blue fire.
blue fire.
That looks like it.
Okay, because I thought, well,
Because if anything, ice would just make the wall stay.
Right, that's what I
water.
kept thinking.
I thought it was just the power of it, just blowing it down.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. It could be either.
Yeah.
And then that's when they said, oh yeah, and also we got some other shit for you. The way he just swooped out, I was like, yes! And I'm not supposed to root for him, but we've been waiting for these goddamn dragons, and it's funny because they've been holding off and been like, okay, we've been seeing them do bad shit, but this right here just totally blew me away to see how that, not only that is a badass dragon right there, but how they're using these dragons in so many dangerous ways now.
Well, it is like, for so long they didn't have dragons, and everybody was afraid of them because, like, yeah, that's a a power. That's like having a nuclear weapon.
One of the things that really impressed me here was just showing how dangerous the walkers are. Like looking at it, we saw the way the one that they brought there just lunged at Cersei.
Sure.
When they let it go, and
Because she's evil.
Yeah. Well, and everybody wanted to see him off the chain and go after her ass. But this was the one where where we've got the first hint that, okay, man, when these things are not, when we ain't got that Night King keeping the asses like kind of at bay and keeping them calm, they really are. This is the first time to me that they really did feel like a threat to the world.
Well, some of them are Walking Dead zombies, and some are 28 Days Later zombies.
When we talk about the beginning of the show and how it's a great setup, because before the action comes in, before we had our great deaths, before we have great scenes with dragons, I love this whole thing, the way people would come in, and we had all these grudges that we would see, all these people who had anger for each other, all these past relationships. It really set the tone, because when we know Cersei is not one to be trusted, and plus is one that felt like a Tarantino movie where anything could blow up at any moment.
Yeah, all it took was one person doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, one person fires a gun and it's going off, and seeing how all this animosity was in one place, was in one space and in one place, along with the one who was setting it up, who was the least trusted out of all of them, Cersei. It just set up the tone for the whole episode, where I was just on edge because I just couldn't tell where things were going to go with people. And not only if people would attack each other, but I couldn't tell if alliances would be changed.
Sure.
With Tyrion coming back to see Cersei, I didn't know if somehow Cersei, because the whole thing that Daenerys has been telling Tyrion is like, if you go back and betray me for your family, and that whole thing where Tyrion was talking to Cersei, I was like, maybe she will sweet talk him and manipulate him to coming back into the family and being on their side.
Well, she kind of did.
What did she tell him, though? That's the thing.
I mean, her coming back out saying, like, all right, me and Tyrion talked, and you're right, we need to have a truce. I'll send my soldiers to fight with you. So now they're all relaxing, like, all right, good, we got her, we can go do this. And then she goes back to Jaime saying, like, psh, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
The minute they go fight there, I'm taking over all this.
Yeah.
And Tyrion was the one who brokered that deal and sweet talked them into believing her.
Shit, I didn't even think of that. And she did say that Jaime was the dumbest Lannister, meaning that, hey, Tyrion might have been on her side.
What are you doing?
Preparing the expedition north.
Expedition North. I always knew you were the stupidest Lannister.
I mean, I don't think he did it knowingly, but she did. He was so desperate to have the two of them at least have a truce, or that he believed what she said, where normally anybody else would be like, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
Yeah, they had this conversation, and it's hard to tell what happened near the end of it.
Maybe your Aunt Greyjoy had the right idea. Get on a boat. Take those who matter.
You're pregnant.
That's why I wondered if she had him. Do you think that she's really pregnant?
Nope.
Because one of the things that Tyrion said before is, "I love the children." Mm-hmm. I love those kids, and and it's funny because that's not a subtle move right there. That petting the stomach with them fingers rolling. She did that to Jaime,
right?
And now that Tyrion's talking, she's doing the same. I'm so full. And it's like, all right,
she's doing that for either one of two reasons, and one could be to manipulate Jaime and Tyrion because she knows, and it's very exaggerated, or because she really is pregnant and the way she's going to die is somebody stabbing her in the stomach.
Or here's a theory that someone said, and we talked about this before. In season 2, when Cersei was, they had a flashback where Cersei was a teenager, a really bitch-ass teenager too. She was just as evil as she is now. And she wanted to have a prediction that was told to her about her children. And she was told that she would only have 3 kids, and those 3 kids are gone.
Yeah.
It's been predicted, or a theory's been put out there that if she's not, if she truly is pregnant and not just being a manipulator like she usually is, because how she's going to have, if this prophecy is to be believed, how is she going to have another kid if all three of them are dead? If she's been told she would have three. Some people say that this child that right here, if it's truly one, might kill her in childbirth.
Oh, well, I thought part of that prediction was that the little brother was gonna kill her. I mean, I guess it could be
That's
that
technically a little brother too.
Oh, yeah. I guess I was thinking that little brother would be Tyrion, but it could be her.
And Tyrion might be,
baby.
Tyrion might be too much of an easy choice. Tyrion might be one that is, because everybody expects that.
Because if he is the one to kill her, especially with a sword through the stomach, then he'll be broken up about it.
Yeah, exactly.
What if it's Euron's baby?
I considered that.
That would be heartbreaking.
No,
Heartbreaking.
For Jamie.
Oh.
I feel for Jamie.
and I can tell you that's not the case either. I don't think that is Euron's. You talking about Euron Greyjoy?
Yeah.
No, ain't no fucking way she let her put his penis up in her. ain't no fucking way at all.
For his loyalty.
What's that?
For his loyalty.
She's too much of a manipulator.
I know.
She's
got him on a string already.
She's always looking at him like, you dumb motherfucker. What if Jamie is the one that might end up killing her? Because there's been so many moments in this where Jamie he's given Cersei so many what the fuck kind of looks in this episode.
He is the Kingslayer.
Yeah, you know what? And that's something to think about. She's gone on to insult him, and not just insult him, but betray him by not filling him in on everything. That's not kill worthy. But what is kill worthy is being a ruler who's willing to commit mass murder. There's a great possibility that they planted the seeds for him. If not killing her himself, he will orchestrate some sort of way to kill her.
And if he doesn't, he's dead.
Yeah.
We can't beat the Dothraki. We don't have the numbers. We don't have the support of the other houses.
No, we have something better. We have the Iron Bank.
He's like, what?
That's it? Did you not hear any of what I just said?
It's like he understands that things aren't really foolproof with her. And even when she says that, I believe that when she says that she does have something, he still can't buy it because she's so consumed with anger and hatred.
Yeah.
And I don't think he can trust her. And if nothing else, if he's seeing her being consumed by something that Jamie never was. Jamie was a bad person, but I think Jamie is beginning to realize a lot of things have been done because of Cersei. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that you guys have seen me do before, I've done because of Cersei. I thought that Sir Gregor really was going to kill his ass.
Me too.
Yeah,
me
me
too. When he's
too.
looking over his shoulder like, oh, for real?
I was like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, do not call this man's bluff right. And it was in the show did a great job because what they did was, we just saw Littlefinger get his. So right here, it was almost like, yeah, why not?
Right.
At this point, I think even Jamie was kind of like, shit.
Well, he did the same thing Littlefinger did, was do that big swallow.
Man, that Adam's apple bounced like a basketball off the floor. Yeah, there's been a lot of people who talked a lot of shit and were relieved when that bluff was called. This was one where everybody was not that noble. They were like, oh, shit. Fuck. Jamie been cool, but Jamie kind of looked like a Littlefinger right there.
Well, man, whenever Sir Gregor is even in the room, there's just that fear, like, what's going to happen next? Because all it's going to take is her doing this, and then in a half second, you dead.
Yeah, exactly.
And after the way Oberyn went out,
Got his head turned into strawberry preserves.
Yeah. It's one thing to just get stabbed and instant death. There's another to get your skull crushed as you scream agonizingly.
Right in front of everybody.
I am looking for the moment where we get that confrontation between the Hound
and the mountain.
Because he is pissed. And I think that's the only thing that's been keeping him alive. Right? The Hound has survived impossible odds.
Dragon fire and dying, being thrown down a mountain.
Thrown down a literal mountain. Him living solely just to go up against the mountain is the thing that will actually help him win the fight.
Because compared to how he was when he started, he's a lot cooler.
Yeah.
He used to be just so aggro with everyone.
Oh yeah.
And now he's just like, listen, if you don't fuck with me, I ain't got no beef with you.
In fact, his catchphrase is "fuck off."
Right. And if you do that, then everything's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that confrontation. I believe that he will. I don't think that they're going to have them come up and have this years of letting the Hound live, years of letting this what you call it, animosity between them. At least, well, Sir Gregor is a zombie now. At least his hatred for him towards Sir Gregor. I don't think that they're going to keep this character around so long to not get a satisfying conclusion to that. Which is, out of everybody that could not kill the Mountain, he can. We had Euron getting up and leaving, and we heard this. We heard Cersei talk about how that was part of the plan. So Euron is not the bitch that we thought he was, or the coward that we thought he was.
He was at first. She probably talked to him afterwards.
Yeah.
But his reaction was real. He was like, oh, hell no.
Do you want this ass or not? Get your ass over there. Take that gold with you. Nah, it's it was great to see Theon finally stand up for something.
To find his nuts.
Man, that was so. If there was ever a great time for him to be a nutless wonder that worked for him, it was now.
It's like, this is what I've been training for.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen that episode of King of the Hill where Bobby, he was kicking people in the nuts. He tried to kick his mother in the nuts, and she was like, that ain't working on me. That shit was just like that here. It was, it was amazing to see that. Probably some people, I can hear them saying now, maybe a little bit too comedic of a scene for something like Game of Thrones.
Wait, like when you talk about it being more of a mainstream show, that whole scene right there.
Yeah. I actually think that scene right there, I was like, you know something? As much as I love, this is what I'm talking about with this show being mainstream now. I do really believe that there's certain things that are so entertaining in here that, we go with it and we love it. But at the same time, it's like, man, this is something where I don't think old Game of Thrones would have done that. A comedic moment like that, which is fine.
No dick, man.
Ain't that some shit when your weapon is having no nuts?
The thing is, it wouldn't drop you, but it would still hurt.
Man, that shit would still hurt.
It's still a
There's still some nerves down there that would get to you, man. And just the way that, that looked like, I mean, they could have played some music.
If anything, he's energized.
Yeah. That was a comedy. That was a moment out of an 80s comedy right there.
Yeah.
But something. There's a lot that we're forgiving this for because it's still better than the average show that's out there, man, that does something like this. Last thing that we'll leave with, because we've been talking here a whole lot about things, and there's so many things that we could talk about, but we have to go to the part. One thing I want to bring up here is there's a theory going around. I think it's a little far-fetched, but a lot of people are buying into it. Mm-hmm. But watching this episode, I'm wondering if it's plausible, if there's some reliability behind it, and that is Bran, that he is the Night King.
That's going around a lot. The guy I work with, I work next to, he just kept saying it all week long. I mean, people would walk by, he go like, hey, you watch Game of Thrones? They're like, no. He's like, well, just so you know, Bran is the Night King. I'm like,
get the fuck out of here.
Well, if you say so.
Kick it, like, get the fuck out the window. I just told you, I don't watch the show.
But well, I was like, all right, man, calm down. But then I read something on it today, and I was like, all right, clearly this is a prevailing theory.
Yeah. Does he go around there talking about Tyler Durden, this imaginary guy? I've never seen that movie, man. Hey, Rosebud. Don't creep ass away from me.
He was Kaiser Soze the whole time.
Yeah. Kaiser Soze. But let me see a cup of coffee, man.
Bran's Night King, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Spoiler, you a burn victim. But the thing that I wonder that gives some credibility to this theory is that right before we got to that scene where we had the White Walkers and the Army of the Dead walking through. We got Bran. Make your eyes go white. But right before that, with no explanation, we see that, and now we cut to the wall.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the Army of the Dead, and we're cutting to the dragon scene that everybody loves. It's like, why would they show that? And again, I'm maybe reading too much into this, but why would they show him doing that if there wasn't some importance to the next scene?
I thought it was implying that he was like warging into the crows, and so he knows what's happening at the wall.
You know what? And that is true too. But then we see the ravens coming through, so it's not too hard for him to see that.
Yeah, that could be the case.
There's been so many stupid ass theories going around. One was, what if Arya Stark is Littlefinger? She killed him, and she's wearing his face. I'm like,
right.
So she set it up to not only kill him and wear his face, but also to spy on herself. It's like, come on, man, you're not even thinking he's through, or this is just clickbait.
I saw that one too, but at the moment when they're all in the room together, I'm like, what about now?
And this right here. This is creepy as fuck, y'all, because everybody knows that Jon Snow is a Targaryen. He's Rhaegar Targaryen's son, which means that he is
he's her nephew.
He's her nephew.
Jon's real.
And they give I like how they give the whole response. In fact, if you saw the whole thing that they talked about after the show, the little post explanation.
Game of Thrones.
And how do y'all feel about that, by the way? The whole thing with him having sex pretty much with his aunt right now.
No, not pretty much.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
Definitely.
He's just sticking the tip in.
It is his aunt, but like I said, back in medieval England, which this seems to be all based on, the marrying of family was how you kept the family, the royals, together, which is why they all became hemophiliacs. It's true. But also, you got Jaime and Cersei, so that kind of softens the blow.
And they're like the most quality relationship on the show.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's uniting two kingdoms. But one thing that the guys mentioned, the creators, was how this, outside of that information, this union seems perfect for them, and everybody's gonna be happy. But this information is gonna come out, and they can't stay together. And if Jon Snow is the rightful ruler of the Iron Throne, the one to sit on it, then I think that means she's gonna have to die.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the same thing too. Like, for one, look,
because if you come to her and say like, oh, it turns out he's the rightful heir, you can't have it, you got to give it up, I think she's gonna be like, nah, I got dragons.
Okay, now here's first of all, I'm not done with this thing with this nasty shit that Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen are doing, but I just found something I want to bring up. This is another thing that makes me think, did Cersei do something that's going to turn Tyrion against Daenerys and just ruin this whole thing? Because why is he, unless he's just a little pervert, why is he in the hallway looking at them going to the room when they're like, what's going on with him? That's a very jealous, crazy kind of, he's all in the shadows doing his little finger thing too.
Yeah, it's weird.
I didn't know that.
Because earlier in a different episode, he was the one telling her like, oh no, girl, Jon Snow, he been looking at you. Yeah. And that's when she was all like, oh, he's too little for me. And for I was like, what? You're barely taller than Tyrion. How dare you? you're a midget yourself.
Now, why is he looking like this? What's this for? Because whenever there's a look like that, especially from Tyrion Lannister, something bad is going to happen.
That's true. Every time he has that look, something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, something bad. And I don't think that he's jealous. I don't think that he's jealous of Daenerys. He's not like what's his name? Jorah.
Sir Friendzone.
Yeah. I love you. I skinned myself for you. I don't give a fuck. I didn't tell you to do that. You crocodile looking motherfucker. Man, that is pussy whoop without having it. I'm gonna skin myself alive and come back to you. But Jorah, he is in love with her somehow, and I don't think he's ever going to cross any boundaries with her.
Yeah, he's admitted he's in love with her.
Yeah, but I don't think that
watch her fuck other dudes.
Yeah. Let me get back to Jon Snow and Daenerys. It's like, y'all, even though with this story they're telling and everything, it's romantic. Okay, that's cool, but y'all know this is nasty. Y'all know it. Everybody is so cool with them getting together, knowing exactly what they are. They ain't cousins, you know,
because they're pretty people.
Man, yeah, it's amazing what we will do when we manipulate into it, and both people look pretty as fuck. If they were hillbillies, we'd be like, ugh, shit. If that was some poor white trash, but no, we got these models up here fucking each other. Y'all know this is nasty.
I think people are having both reactions because part is like, oh, well, they do have feelings for each other and they're pretty and it's nice to see it, and at the same time,
yeah, come on. No, I'm sorry. I like these two and I wanted them to get together, but I was like, they're related.
but they didn't know.
Yeah, they don't know each other. It's not like they grew up together. It's like
Cersei and Jamie, they know full well.
They're fully aware.
I know what this is.
But see, only you know, and Bran knows, and now Samwise.
And knows. I like the way Bran just sitting there, they ain't doing nothing. Yeah, yeah, fuck him, man. Yeah. I see everything. This is no.
Somebody should tell Jon.
I ain't saying shit.
I mean, I can't walk, so
yeah.
But somebody needs to tell him.
Yeah, this is the best porn I've had. This is the only porn I've had. I'm in a fucking wheelchair. I can't walk and I look crazy. Man.
When you get there ready to tell him, let me know because I want to see this.
Yeah. Shit, that's why I
look on his face.
Wow, you do that too well. You do that way too well, man. Mars' eyes went way. I thought you just did heroin. Yeah, what are you looking at right now?
But would you like to know? See what your girl is up to.
Yeah, man. I want to get a water hose and just throw it on there. Get your ass off her, boy. No, I know they don't know, but let's not forget that incest brought us Joffrey. You know, so
oh yeah,
yeah. We don't. This is not anything that's cool right here, and I think that's. I don't care what anybody says how romantic this is. Y'all need to get a hold of yourself. This shit is nasty. But the other thing is that I think that's the manipulative thing behind it. They're getting it together. Everybody like, oh, how romantic. And then George R. Martin's going to be like, y'all seem to forget this shit cannot happen. Somebody got to die now.
It's got to end tragically.
Yeah, the moment that penis went in there, that was done.
Hey, maybe they'll birth another dragon.
Oh my God! The only thing I'm seeing like a half man, half dragon come out of her.
Well, that's what it sounded like the kid that died. That's what he was. That's what, according to the witch.
Really?
Yeah, she said it was stillborn. She said it looked like a half lizard man. That's why we had to get rid of it.
Man, you were making this worse.
It's possible. I mean, one lady gave birth to a shadow creature that went and murdered someone.
Yeah, that is true.
Happened.
Yeah, that's why this needs to be left alone right here. Yeah, there's so much more to talk about. You know, and I think that we're gonna be seeing some. If I had to make a prediction, I mean, I can't make these deep predictions and theories like people do. I just read them and go, try to figure them out for myself. But I think, some of the things that we have here, if we're looking at the pattern, there've been people who've just, they're being wiped out now because we're at the end of it.
Oh yeah, like whenever this final season comes, it's gonna be death.
And Euron's gonna be one of them. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to what they do. I mean, I know it's gonna work out somehow, and with George R. Martin, you don't know how. Mm-hmm. But I still believe it's gonna have more of a positive ending. But goddamn, that dragon made me think. Man, y'all are fucked. I don't know how y'all gonna do this.
I know. The minute you see that, it is like, yeah, Tyrion was right again. Y'all are fucked.
Yeah, exactly. And that is a great way to conclude an episode. So with that said, any parting words from anyone before we leave?
No, it's just gonna take so long to get our conclusion.
When does the next season come out?
I want to say it's 2 years from now.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we were talking before.
And it's 4 episodes?
Is it just 4 episodes?
I think it's super short, like shorter than this was.
Really?
Okay. At best, it's the same length, and this was only 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Martin said before, when I was talking about North Korea, just let us watch that before we drop that bomb. I don't give a fuck what you can do. Shit, we deserve it for having Trump up in here, but just wait. You want shit? If you want to launch that shit, just 48 hours to let people catch up after the last episode. Then
some people can't see it. Yeah, they need another 48 hours after it airs to watch.
Yeah, and if you didn't see it, then that's your fault.